Would you put Kenan as the best, like when it comes to all time, like skits, live performance, comedy? Would you put him up there?
Are we saying like Kenan as the best or as like the face of it?
The best, like because they're saying, he said I think the longest run on the show. He writes.
But Kenan, but that's like, but Kenan wasn't in like, he wasn't in every sketch and all that stuff. So like, and they had writers too. But he was the one who put it together. But to
Yeah.
say he's the best at what, improv or sketch comedy?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you can call it improv, but sketch
I mean,
comedy.
if you want to say the Waynes, then sure, because Kim was really good and Damon, like they were all really good at what they did.
No, I just sketch comedy overall, and I'm talking Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler, like all of those greats. Jim Carrey, you could even put in there. I would think Kenan is the best.
But as in terms of what, like, are you going to put him and Jim Carrey on the same level if he gave Jim his start? Are you going to put
No,
him
no,
in?
no. I'm not talking Kenan Wayans. I'm talking Kenan Thompson from SNL. I'm not talking.
Are we talking Kenan Thompson?
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about Kenan Ivory
No,
Wayne,
no, no, no,
the face.
no.
Do
Talking
you
Kenan
think
from
Kenan
SNL.
is like, you want to put him up there as the best what?
Sketch comedy comedian. Because
No.
he had that picture with Eddie Murphy and I think it was Chris Rock, and they tried to say, "Oh, you need to cut him off the picture," and he was like, "Oh, I'm a great too." Like, and he is
A great what?
at what he does. He's sketch
But
comedy,
a great what? And
sketch comedy.
he shouldn't have been in that picture. First off, he was there. Like, when you take a photo and you got the people that you want in the picture, and then somebody, like, you feel bad. Ah, oh, come on. Like, that was what that was. He should have been in that picture. You know that.
See, I
But
disagree with you.
call him the best what? Because he stayed on the show longer? Like, what other options did he have? The show, like, if he went and did something else, what else would he do?
Well, it's not just that he stayed on the show. He's kind of like the heart of the show. Just you don't believe that?
He was the main black person for many years, but
And then the picture was Eddie Murphy.
do you think,
Chappelle.
don't go on that picture yet, don't go on that picture yet, like, even like, do you think he was the funniest, like, at any point, do you think he was the funniest person on there? Because if you talk, and I'm thinking, like, because he was on there, and Kenan, because they don't have a lot of people of color on SNL, but when you see, I think Michael Shea was funnier on that. I think what's the guy who did the impression? I think Jay Farrell was a little bit better than him at what he did.
See, I mean
Kenan,
overall, I can't.
but overall, what? Like, is he good at impressions? No. Is he
Michael
good
Shea
at?
just does the weekend update. He don't really do,
But he doesn't get a chance to do a lot of different stuff.
probably because he can't.
You can't say he
He
can't.
can't act. He probably can't act.
Like Damon, like, are you going to say that about Damon Wayne? Damon didn't get a chance to do a lot of things when he was on there for that short stint. Like,
Oh, he was on SNL.
Damon was on SNL, and I think Damon was on there before or right after Eddie, when Eddie left.
See, I didn't even know that.
Damon went on, and then they wanted Damon to it's like some type of stereotypical role, and he said no. So he did something like really flamboyant or something, and then they told him don't come back ever again. Like, they kicked him off the show. And then he went to In Living Color.
That's when he started it up, right? With Kenan, or
No, like, that's when he went to In Living Color. Like, In Living Color started not long after that, is what I'm saying.
oh,
So the SNL didn't work out for him, but it worked out for him with In Living Color.
it makes sense. I mean,
And that's because it's certain roles that he didn't want to do, and he didn't want to be like a stereotypical role. So he went against it, and then I guess Lauren Michaels,
Hmm.
like he said, basically like you're fired.
I don't even know this story. Like, I didn't even
I
know he was on there like that.
I'll send it to you. It's something that he talked about briefly on something, but yeah, he was on there for. It wasn't like it might have been only like a sketch or two, but it's the same thing. Like that's why Martin got banned from SNL. I still don't understand like
He said he
SNL.
apologized.
I don't know. I
I would
just
love
don't.
to see the clip. I hate when I can't see a clip, like the reason why.
Who Martin?
Because they said it was because of his monologue. That's why he was supposedly
They
banned.
said that's why his monologue because they said it was he was like raunchy or too like
It's too raunchy. But where is it? Like, come on now.
they don't got it up nowhere. I'm sure. But people told him, don't, just be a little more tame. But he said, no, I'm going to do me. And that's what a lot of people do now. Because even with Dave like, but he's afforded that privilege now. But like Martin was just like Martin was big, but they didn't care. They didn't need him.
I mean, I don't think Dave pushes it that far.
But he can, and he has. Like he's told some lines, and like I don't know what Martin said, but
Chris Rock, he pushed it. He
but
pushed
as a comedian, that's what you want to do at times. Like you want to toe the line.
Bill Burr, he told the line.
Because Bill didn't care, but you got to know who. Like that's the thing. You have to know who you're getting. Like Bill Burr, no matter what he's going to be him.
It's almost like he was trying to get banned. Almost like it felt like yeah, I want to, I wish they would kick me off. I wish they would cancel me. Like,
but even if they did, like
he has his fan base. He can't be hurt.
he wouldn't care. That's why, like, people were surprised they even asked him on, and I think he did a good job. Like as far as the sketches and everything, I think Bill Burr did a good job.
He did. This I can't really say many do a good job. Comedians that go on SNL
because I don't know, and I don't even know if they get like say over like the sketches that they're a part of, because some of them are trash. Like some of them sketches are just absolute trash. And then some people, like some of the comedians, they have one that just aren't funny. So of course it wouldn't be funny. Like Leslie Jones, not funny. Like I didn't laugh. Like they had her on for a couple things. Wasn't she like a regular on SNL?
Yeah, she was a cast member, and she had some funny stuff on there. Funny. Like
some of the clips you showed me that you laughed at, they involved her, and I didn't laugh. I didn't crack a smile.
See, that's what I'm saying. You put someone like Eddie up there, but if you really looked at something like if you put Eddie versus Kenan's like top clips, I think Kenan hands down.
Kenan has 20 years of clips. That's all he's done.
Amen.
After all that, he did all that and Kenan and Kel, and then he did SNL for the last 20 years.
They still compare what Jay-Z to Biggie. Biggie only got 2 albums. That's
so. What is Kenan's funny stuff when he does Family Feud? When he does like
he has so many different little clips. He has funny stuff.
Most of that stuff is not even funny. It's just like shock value stuff, but it's not really funny.
No.
Most of that stuff is shock value.
So and you think he's funny?
And anytime something happens with a black male or a black person, that's when he does it. And it's just
that's limiting to say that. That's
no, it's not. No, it's not. Stop it, son. Like anytime, like he played R. Kelly, he played O.J. Simpson, he played LeVar Ball.
O.J. Simpson one was funny. That was funny.
I can see how it could be funny, but it wasn't any like like it wasn't I don't think it was executed well.
At the end of the day, it's either funny or it's not funny.
No, that's not true. We talked about this. I can appreciate something for the direction it went, and I'm like, okay, I could see where they were going with that. It's 100 different ways this could have been better, but like I could see the humor in it. But am I going to just look at it and like laugh? No, but I see the direction, and I appreciate like the concept, but it wasn't great.
So you admit that Kenan is funnier than Eddie on SNL only because he has more material.
When did you hear me say that?
You're saying that Eddie only, Kenan been on there 20 years.
No. See, people try to change up. That's how things get so.
That's what you mentioned, the 20 years. I didn't mention the 20 years. You did.
I mentioned the 20 years because you said put Kenan's top clip up against Eddie's top clip. Yeah. And I'm saying Kenan has 20 years to go. Like that's like saying compare anybody like to Biggie's album. Biggie has 2 albums, but if someone has 20 albums, I have more to pick from. Yeah. I can't say look at this catalog and look at this catalog. If you're picking from 20 different things, you have 20 different things. That don't mean that the 2 that you pick are better than Biggie's 2 albums. That just means you have to pick by a larger amount. Yeah. And his 2 albums stand taller than your 10 albums that you have. And you can pick 2 out of your 10 that you might be like, all right, these are good. These might compare to that, but they still don't compare to those 2. So I'm saying you can pick 10 clips out of Kenan stuff and 10 clips out of Eddie. The 10 clips that Eddie has that Kenan might have 100 of them, they're still not funnier than Eddie's clip. Like, stop it.
Yeah, I think you need to do your research. I think.
Well, I'm not going to watch it enough. I don't just sit every week and watch Kenan. With Eddie, you have a sample size. They have a whole DVD. Show me where they have a DVD of Kenan's best SNL moments. They have Eddie.
They definitely do on YouTube. They definitely do.
Wait. YouTube, anybody can make that.
Come on now. I'm talking about the SNL YouTube channel.
This is a DVD that they made SNL and they put it together and they're making money off of it. And it has all of Eddie's clips. Why? Because people want to see Eddie's clips because Eddie's clips are funny. Nobody's going to pay for Kenan Thompson's funniest moment. Like, nobody's going to do that. You say it and you wouldn't even do it.
I wouldn't pay for Eddie's either. That's the difference.
You don't have to pay for it. Somebody will. I have it.
Why do you think Kenan was in the picture? Because Eddie was like, yo, thank you for writing all those skits for me. You helped bring me back. That's why. That's why he was in the picture.
What?
Yeah, the picture with him, Chappelle.
Yeah, the stuff that he did was sketches that he did.
So,
first off, a lot of stuff that Kenan, he said he wrote a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that he writes doesn't get picked up.
That's just the nature of the biz.
So what makes you think that he wrote the Eddie clips?
He was in the picture.
Listen. I have plenty of pictures where I wanted to take with certain people, and then someone else comes in or other people come in. You take pictures. That doesn't like. Listen. Wait. Can I wait? Can I give you an example?
Go ahead.
Can I give you an example?
Go ahead.
With the infamous Alicia Keys and Jay-Z performing Empire State of Mind. What image do you see? You see Alicia Keys, you see Jay-Z, and you see Lil Mama. She wasn't supposed to be in there. She has no business in there, but she's in there. You can equate that. You can put that the same way with Kenan. He has no business in that picture. He has no business in that shot. Huh?
So the picture happened during Eddie's monologue. They came on stage, Chappelle, Rock, and what's his name? Tracy Morgan. Along with Kenan. Kenan don't belong up there, but Tracy do.
So let me ask you this: what makes Kenan supposed to? If it wasn't on the SNL stage and they're at another award show and they're all in the picture, Kenan's in the audience. Is somebody going to say, "Hey, Kenan, come up here and get in this picture"? No, he's going to sit where he belongs. He's not going to get in the picture.
Because you don't look at him as a...
Nobody looks at him as a legend.
Yeah, a legend.
In what?
In comedy.
No.
Wow.
Because you had to differentiate. You said in sketch comedy.
That's like, comedy, yes.
No. Do you look at Dave and say, oh, he's a sketch or what do you call it? Sketch comedy? Like, you don't look at him and say that. You call him a comedian.
Yeah,
Nobody who calls Kenan a comedian.
He calls himself a comedian. What he
does. Listen, wait. You said he calls himself a comedian. I said, who calls him a comedian?
The whole industry.
Listen. I can call myself 6'10". That don't mean I'm 6'10". I can say whatever I want to describe myself. That don't mean it's true.
All right.
He can call himself a comedian. That don't mean it's accurate.
You Google his name, Kenan Thompson. What comes up? Kenan Thompson is an American actor and comedian.
What are you looking at? Wikipedia?
That's the first thing that comes up.
Amrit. I can go on Wikipedia and write my bio however I want to see it. I can write whatever I want.
So you think he was...
I was just watching something that said Kanye West is a singer/rapper. When is he a singer?
Dave Chappelle is an American stand-up comedian, actor, writer, and producer. Like, this is what they are. Comedy.
So what did it... Wait. It didn't just say comedy for Dave. What did it say for Dave?
Comedian, actor...
Wait. That's not what you read.
Yeah, comedian.
That's not what you read.
Yes, he's an American stand-up comedian.
Thank you. Wait.
What?
Wait. I read it the way you read it. Don't improvise. Read it.
I just read it.
No, you didn't. Because you said wait. American stand-up comedian. What does it say for Kenan?
He's an American actor and comedian.
Let me ask you a question.
Not stand-up comedian. You don't give him that? You don't give him that respect?
Hello, raise my hand. Can I ask the question?
Go on.
Can I ask the question?
Go on.
Just because it says he's a comedian doesn't mean that he's a comedian. What are the standards of being a comedian? Because we went on Ricky's podcast. We talk about comedy all the time. What standards do you have to be considered a comedian? Are we just talking about TV show funny? Are we talking about on film? Like, is Will Smith the comedian? Can you call him
a comedic actor?
Wait. Stop it. You just said comedy. Don't give me comedic actor.
That falls under comedy.
No, don't give me comedic actor. Tell me comedy or not. Is Will Smith a comedian?
He's not a stand-up comedian. No, he's not.
Neither is Kenan. But is Will Smith a comedian?
He does comedic acting.
Stop it. Give me an answer.
I'm not going to fall into your trap.
No. It's not falling into my trap. I'm just saying, answer the question. Is Will Smith a comedian?
He does comedic acting.
No. I don't know. Is Will Smith the comedian?
I'll say this.
Don't say anything. Just answer the question.
For years, The Fresh Prince was performed in front of a live audience.
So is he a comedian?
Is The Fresh Prince a comedy?
Is he a comedian?
What is a comedy if there are no comedians in it?
Is he a comedian?
Is it not a comedy?
Is he a comedian?
He's a comedian.
It's a simple yes or no answer.
I'm not. It's a trick.
It's not a trick.
When did he ever do stand-up? When did he ever?
No, I'm not going to say when he ever do stand-up. I'm going to say if you consider him a comedian, that doesn't mean that he's a comedian. Just because it's written that Kenan's a comedian doesn't mean that he's a comedian. Like, you can write whatever you want. So I can write that I'm a comedian. That don't mean that I'm a comedian. If I think I'm funny and I say I'm a comedian, that don't mean I'm a comedian.
If you sit down with pen and paper and you write things with the intention of making people laugh, and you go out and you perform in front of a live audience and you make them laugh, is that not comedy? And the makers of comedies are technically, by definition, considered comedians.
So if I write comedy and I don't perform it, I'm a comedian.
Of course, if you write comedy and you don't perform it, like Kevin Hart, he has writers. They don't get up there.
Hello, can I ask a question?
They're comedians. They're all comedians.
Can I ask a question because your definition makes no sense? So I'm gonna pose it to you this way: if I write a song and I don't sing, but I give it to a singer, am I a singer?
You wrote a song.
But if I write a joke, if I write a joke, I'm a comedian.
Yes.
Even if I don't perform it.
Of course, because
so wait. So how
the difference?
How am I writing a song but I'm not a singer? But I can write a joke, but now I'm a comedian.
But how can you truly write a song without singing it? Even Jay-Z, when he wrote for Dre, he had to do a reference track. You can't just write something on paper and say, "Here, sing this." Can you?
Do you know how many people write and they have other people to do the reference tracks? You know how many reference tracks Brandy has done for people? That people write songs, but she does the reference, or someone else does the reference track. Just because you write a song, you're a writer. You're not a singer.
But they write a joke,
you're a writer. You're not a comedian.
You're a singer. You wrote the song. You sing it.
You write it.
I can't write a song for someone to sing and just write it in my head.
This is like the dumbest conversation I've ever had.
I can't just write a song on paper in my head. No sound coming out of my mouth. No humming. No nothing.
Yes, you can.
Just we silent right now. I'm just writing a song.
Can you think thoughts without speaking them?
Of course you can think thoughts, but can you sing? Can you sing? It won't sound right.
So wait. You can't sing a song in your head?
Sing a song in my head. I could sing a song out loud.
You can't sing a song in your head?
No.
Are you mad?
Sing a song in my head? No. Like
you don't.
I could
say you never sing a tune in your head. You never sing a song in your head without.
That's kind of madness. I'm just.
How is it madness? Like so you can't talk. So you can't talk. Like you can't talk in your head.
You can talk in your head.
So if I can talk in my head, why can't I sing in my head?
I'm trying to think. Like is it really even that? A thought is not talking. A thought is a thought. Like it's not talking.
So let me ask you this. Because I don't understand your the way that you're thinking about this. Because I don't even know if you're doing this purposely or if it's serious, but you're saying I can't write a song in my head. I can't sing a song. How many times has Jay said he wrote the songs he don't write down?
Even Jay, that's a perfect example. When they say Jay hear a beat, they say he writes in his head, but they say he sits by himself, mumbling to himself.
Does everyone do that?
What do you mean, does everyone do that?
Just because he's mumbling, that's his process. You don't think there's anybody that can write a song in their head or sing a tune in their head or sing a note in their head without it coming out of their mouth? Like you can write it.
It may be, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but that's definitely
impossible. So you're telling me you can't sing a song in your head right now? You can't think of a song and let it play in your head right now?
And let it sound the same way as I would sing it? No, because you're imagining how it would.
The same way you were singing it? No, the way that you would hear it. You listen to a lot of music in your life. You can't think of a song and hear it in your head.
You can hear it and imagine it in your head. Because that's what you're doing. You're imagining it in your head. But is it going to sound the same? It's not.
What does having it to sound the same mean? I'm saying you're saying you can't write a song in your without singing it.
It's like this. A song has already been. You know a song. You know a tune, and you're playing it, imagining it in your head. You're replaying the song in your head. How can you do that for a song that was never written before? You're just hearing an instrumental, and you're just. Jay even has to mumble to himself to catch the beat, to catch the flow.
So
I'm sure it would be off beat, off rhythm, like.
So do you think that all the times when you're writing a song, like that you're gonna always hear the melody and music? You don't think you can just write the words?
Acapella, yeah. You could
You
write
don't think
the
that
words and
so
sing it.
you don't think that you can conceptualize like a song in your mind?
You can start, but you can't finish a song in your head.
Most like but even if you write a song, you might not write the whole thing out like
Yeah,
right
you
then
can
and
get
there.
a
So
couple of lines off.
you don't think you can come up with a chorus in your head?
It's like writing an email. You could start writing it like, okay, I know I'm going to say the gist of it, but until you actually start writing it, it's still just up there. It's not real.
So you're saying you can't write a song without singing it. So if I'm writing it down on paper or on a laptop or something, and I'm letting the thoughts come from my mind and I'm putting it on there and no music's coming out, come on, son. Like,
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
All right. Imagine you working with Brandy, right? And you like, yo, Brandy, I wrote you a hit. And she like, all right, let me hear it. You like, here's this on paper. You don't think she gonna look at you sideways like, yo, you going, you know?
Listen. I'm talking about the writing process. You're talking about the recording process or
I'm
hearing
talking
it or
about the
whatever.
writing process.
I can have the song written out, and at that point, the song is written. The song is written. When I go to do the demo or to record it or whatever, the song is already written. I'm just taking with my mind, like what I thought of, what I've written, what I've wrote, and I'm making it come alive. But it's written. It's already written.
In full.
But that doesn't make me a singer. That makes me a writer.
A songwriter.
A songwriter. But it doesn't make me a singer. Just because you write a joke does not make you a comedian. It makes you a writer. It don't make you a comedian.
What's your definition of comedian?
Yeah, I can't give you just one definition. Right
Come
now.
on, man.
I'm not doing
it wasn't. So you gotta tell me what it is.
There's so many different types of comedy.
But yet you disqualify Kenan.
I disqualified him from that picture. Would you say that everyone else in that picture was classified as a legend?
No.
Because you're gonna say you knew
the answer before you asked the question.
No, because that's the only person that you're gonna say is not.
Morgan, he's a legend, but not in the same stand-up, not a stand-up legend like Eddie and Chris Rock. Or Chappelle. Of course not.
So you can take Tracy Morgan out the picture, but if you looked at the picture, you didn't know what was going on in SNL or none of that stuff. You just saw the picture itself. You wouldn't ask why Tracy's there. You would ask why Kenan's there.
No.
Are you kidding? Tracy does stand up. You would think it's something that has to do with stand-up comedy. You would say, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Yeah, Kenan doesn't do stand-up.
No, he doesn't belong.
But he's a legend, more of a legend than Tracy Morgan.
We had this conversation about kid legends, and you he
is that.
Might be a kid legend. He's not no legend.
You can't be the longest running cast member on SNL and not be a legend.
Why not? Why do you think he was the longest running cast member? Was it because of talent?
Yeah, it's because of talent. Because
question.
That's my
question. Everyone else who was on SNL who actually had talent and did other things.
Not true.
They left. They did it for a time, and then they left, and they did other things.
That's limiting. That's a limiting. That's like saying Charlemagne's still on radio. He not really a legend because he's still on radio, still doing radio. Other legends have left. They've gone to sometimes staying true to what you're great at is the best thing.
So why didn't he do anything else except what else has he done besides SNL?
You don't have to do anything else besides SNL.
Why?
Because he's great at what he does.
No, he got complacent. He got very complacent.
That's not true.
Wow.
You don't have to do. Again, Charlemagne. He's great at radio. What has he done great outside of
He's done other
the
things though.
Breakfast Club?
He's done other TV
But what?
shows. He's done podcasts. He's done TV
But
shows. He's
what?
been producing. He's done
But
other
what on
things.
the level of the Breakfast Club has he done that's like you say, oh wow, like that's the next wave. Like he hasn't.
But that's like asking an artist once they have their mega hit, what have they done since then? They just didn't create another mega hit. It's hard to create a hit.
But some people do it, right?
Some people, the talented ones do.
It's hard to stay funny year after year after year after year. SNL, they go with the funniest. The people that no longer fit, they cut.
They go with the funniest. How often do we talk about they don't have many funny clips? If you sit and watch a Saturday Night Live episode, unless there's someone that you want to see guest hosting, like a Chappelle, you're not just going to sit and watch SNL because a majority of it is not funny. Most people can admit that a majority of that stuff is not funny. So how are you going to say he's funny or he's one of the funniest or they only get the funniest when most of that stuff is not funny?
When you say not funny, what's funnier, like when it comes to sketch comedy?
There's not much
like,
out there.
For example, like, do you feel like Key and Peele was killing them?
I didn't think a lot of Key and Peele stuff was funny.
Okay. So maybe you just don't think sketch comedy is funny at all.
Not true. Some of the stuff was.
You said In Living Color, not funny.
No.
Not funny.
Wait. See, that's how people.
Still not funny.
See, you're gonna say
You
that
said
and you're gonna
this.
say,
You
"Oh, he never
said
thought In Living Color was funny." I said everything on In Living Color didn't hit. Everything wasn't funny, but a majority of it was.
So now it's the majority.
More stuff on In Living Color was funnier than this. That's the same thing when you talked about Eddie and Kenan. So like SNL has a bigger variety to pick from because it was long. It ran longer.
Agreed.
But I'm saying, like you can find more funny stuff when In Living Color probably than you will on a majority of the SNL stuff. Like they had a lot of funny stuff.
They did have a lot of funny stuff.
And if you look back the way they talked about it, In Living Color, the ratings did better than SNL. Like people, like the first couple years at least.
For a time, yeah. And yeah, at the time, but.
And it was funnier than SNL. I think most people would admit at that time, if you had to choose one, they would choose In Living Color over SNL.
So you feel like In Living Color is funny sketch comedy. You feel like what Eddie Murphy did.
I'm saying with sketch comedy, it's hit or miss. Everything is not going to hit.
But you're saying that most of SNL is a miss.
A lot of it.
Most of it, right?
If we go season by season, I would say a majority of, like, say you have, if you go on a weekly basis, you're not going to laugh at a lot of the sketches that come on. You're just not.
So if it's 5 sketches, how many you gonna laugh at a weekend?
Maybe none.
Wow. See, I, that's where I think you.
I've watched certain episodes where I don't laugh at all. That's why if someone's not on there that I'm checking for, I'm not going to watch it.
So you feel like the one individual makes the whole thing funny, makes all the skits?
Because they're not in every sketch, first off. Listen, when Bill Burr was on there, the things that he did, like all the sketches he was in, I didn't think were funny, but some of them were. When Chappelle was on there, every sketch wasn't great, but some of them were. Eddie, you didn't laugh at everyone that he came back and did his reprisals of his things. You didn't think all of them were funny, but some of them were. Like there's hit or miss.
For most of them, most of the guests, honestly, like.
But I'm saying I wouldn't even watch it without them guests on there. I watched all the Billboard. I've watched all the ones he was in. I watched all the ones that Dave was in. I'm not going to sit and watch them any other time.
But that's just you not being a fan.
I think a majority of people will agree with that. I personally don't think most people don't think things in SNL are that funny. People who watch SNL don't think everything on there is funny
Yeah,
because
I
it's
don't
not.
think everything on there is funny, but
You think a lot of it is though.
I think some of it is like how you said, some of Eddie's stuff was funny, some of Bill's Burr stuff was funny. I think whoever is on there, some of the skits are going to be funny, some aren't going to hit. But that's overall with comedy. I think whether it's the Chappelle Show, whether it's Key and Peele, whether it's In Living Color, some are
But
going to hit, some aren't.
but again, tell me a Chappelle Show sketch that didn't hit.
I can't name them off top, but
Tell me one.
let me think on that for a second.
I don't think there is.
I just know that right now I can't, and maybe it's because I watched the season so many times, I can't just go and sit and watch a Chappelle episode from start to finish anymore. That's just me.
But what did you say? Because you watched it so many times.
So yeah, so I'm biased, so I can't really say.
So how many SNL clips are you going to watch so many times? You're not going to watch anything on SNL as many times as you watch Chappelle Show. You're just not.
And that's the thing. With SNL, with Chappelle Show, I only go back and watch the clips that I remember to be funny. You know what I mean? Or that I come across. I'm like, oh, okay, let me watch that. I'm not going to sit and watch a full episode of SNL or a full episode of Chappelle Show.